Alright, what's up guys? Adjust my volume here. Sorry about that. Actually, I'm right on time, about 8:15. What's up, Axel? Alright, so um, right now I'm in the middle of finishing some Brutality stuff for UMK3 Plus. So that's pretty much what the video is about. There are Brutalities obviously coming. They're meant to be in the game, the arcade game at least, because the audio speech brutality is in the audio ROM. So I don't know why it wasn't included. Probably time-related issues, but we are working on bringing those back. So there's a few fixes I got to do, but I'll just kind of give you a lowdown here. Let me get somebody that actually know the brutality for. Let's see. I think I know Katanas. That was the first character I worked with. Alright. Let's see. What's that block? Let me save this. I want to say it's high punch. High punch block. I think this is right. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So you're not going to see the brutality graphics in here because this is the version of ROM, the version I use that doesn't support the extra graphics yet. But if I ran it in, let's say this version here, actually let me copy over my ROMs to that, because that's what would be the where the final version would be ran from, is this version of MAME. This is a custom built version of MAME that allows the graphics from an unspecified bank normally in MAME to run. And these are going to run naturally from the machine, the hardware. So if you have a Wolf unit and you plan on doing this, all you have to do is plug the ROMs in, and that's all. But for MAME doesn't recognize the location that these are going to be used in, so we have to, I had to build a custom version of MAME. So let's see, also the title screen also shows the graphics that are missing on my my debug version over there. Like so with the bank as well. Same goes for the bank. So that's what it would look like. Thinking about doing some changes to the brutality graphics itself to improve it. There's the music that I fixed, Drew, for the failed attempt. The retract fix is coming now. So I had to make these brutality graphics because they weren't. Well, I didn't honestly search high and low for them, but find them would be kind of like a needle in the haystack, even with that app that I wrote. It was quicker just to make these. What I was thinking about doing is adjusting it, because I don't like some of the color artifact in here. Like the eye here, you can see the blue is a little darker. We have the original graphic, I think. Let's see, we got this one here. And let's see. A couple different palettes, and what I did was I adjusted the hue of the palette, because it seemed like it was a little too orange. But then after I adjusted it, I didn't notice that eye was a little off. It doesn't look that great, so I'm probably going to redo that. Let's see, Brutalities. So here we go. I'm not sure what palette this is, but okay, that's the blue one. So the other one was this one here, and you can see the difference. There's more of a, it's simply just a palette change. That's all I'd have to do to change that. Nothing major. It just seemed like from this graphic here, let me give the original palette back on there. It seemed that this graphic here wasn't looking like what I was seeing in this picture. This picture, I'm not sure what version this was from, but to me it looked like this had more of a bluish tint to it, so I tried to match it up a little better. But when doing that, it kind of caused some contrasting between a few of the palettes, or the few colors in the palette. So I'll probably adjust that, but other than that, it's pretty decent. We have a couple things that we're going to fix, and that's what we're going to do here. Let me turn that music here. So we have a couple things we're going to fix with the brutality routines itself. So let me go back to the debugger side. And one of them is some of the retracts are failing, just because the retracts weren't put in here. And let's see, do I have this? Okay, yeah, we do have this. So this is the source code for the game. This obviously was leaked sometime last year, I think it was, end of last year. So I was using this as reference, and this is what we're going to put the retract routine in there. It's going to pretty much tell us what animation and what frame of the animation to use if we were to fail the brutality. And some of them work fine, some crash depending on what hit you're on. So that's what we're going to fix today. We're going to fix these retractions. What's up, Cesar? Yes. So this could be a simple, just a comparison routine here. I don't think we need a large array, because there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unique characters, and the rest use the same value here. So what happens in this routine is when you miss, or when you're done with the uppercut, you have to calculate the retraction animation, and that's what I have missing here. So what we're going to do, there's a couple routines we're going to put in here. We're going to put in this one, because this kind of separates the retraction animation. And it separates it from, I believe, frame and animation ID. So we're going to do that right after we call our retract. we'll call our retract there, and then we'll also call our retract up here before this one. And then all we have to do here is go in here and find some character IDs, compare them, because what do we got here? We've got Ermac, we got Old Sub-Zero, we have Reptile, Rain, and Noob are all going to be 8002. And then we have Melina, which is the exception. She's going to be 9302. And then else is going to be, we find that right here. Let's see, retract elbow, retract knee. So a retract elbow is 1002. I don't think the knee is used in the brutality. I don't see it anyways, and there's no knee starting brutalities, so I don't know if that's used or not. I'm going to say no. Let's see, 1002. Okay. Sorry. So what we'll do is we'll move 1002 into A9. I think that's what it's going to be expecting to be in. And then move the character ID, FO into AO, and we'll do some compares here. We'll have to get our character values here. Let's see, what is our character ID? Let's grab our character IDs here. I don't know these as well as I know MK2. MK2 I could rattle them off, but UMK3 not so much. Maybe the first half dozen. Alright, so this first one is to since we can't really run a standard ace scenario here, we'll have to do just a few compares. Alright, so the first one, let's do Ermac. What's Ermac? Ermac 15. Okay, so we'll do 15H into AO. We'll set up our other jumps. Actually, let's do this. Let's move this down here. We'll have a couple returns. This was default elbow retract. So we'll do that, and then we'll do ninja elbow retract. And that is 8002 into A9. Then we'll do a return there, and then the other one we'll do. And we'll keep the code in the same flow here. We'll do for some reason Melina has a different one than Katana. And that was, what's that, 9302 into A9. Alright, so there's compare 15, so that's going to check for Airmac. Jump to runtime, F equal. Actually, we can do, what are these numbers here? Okay, rain is in that equation also. So we can do just a simple, let's see, what is their Mac? 15, I said, or 14. So we can probably do, let's see, 14. Scorpion's not a part of it, so I don't see. We just have Air Mac, Old Sub-Zero, Reptile, Rain Noob. So we got 14, 15. Okay, Smoke's not a part of it, so we can't do a simple greater than comparison. Not a big deal though. So we'll do Ninja Elbow Retract, and then we'll do compare. Who's next here? Old Sub-Zero. So we'll do. There's 15 into AO. And if it's Sub-Zero, we'll jump as well. And then the next one we have Reptile, and Reptile is 13. And then we have Reptile, Rain, and Noob. So Rain is going to be 1A. And Noob is what, 18 was it? 17. And if all else fails, we'll do, actually let's move this default up, because if none of these equal, we're going to flow right into the default elbow. Makes most sense, so we don't have to do another jump. Alright, so what is Molina? Molina, we have the 11H. So yeah, jump to runtime if equal. At Molina elbow retract. Okay, so let's mark these here. Alright, so this is our retract calculating routine. So our registers A0 and A9 are going to be the ones we're going to use, and it looks like A0 is going to be replaced afterwards, so that's fine. So we should be good on that. So that's just fixing the little crashes we have due to animation retractions. Alright, so Buddha retract, we have that. See how this runs, because I know that Drew was testing some today, and he told me that Sonya had one that crashed, so I checked it out, and indeed it did, and I know how to get that one to crash. So let's see how that one now works with this new setup. But first I'm going to take a little browse here. Let me make sure that this retract, I think it's only called twice, yeah. Called twice when you fail, and also when you succeed at the end. Okay, so it should be good. So let's run that here. Let's get this up in. There was a few things we had to do to make these work, but a big time saver was having that source code for the N64 version of Trilogy, because I was able to see the inputs and sequences, and I didn't have to do it manually. Could have done it manually, but it would have taken a lot more time. But with that, I was able to put it together pretty quickly. Just a couple days work, and another day or so to patch up any kind of problems that we might have. Let's see, let me check my jump here. Make sure that's good. If so, then we can build and check it out. Okay, 470, so that's good. Okay, so we can build and check it out. Fabuloso. Axel, how you doing? Alright, so let's get Sonya fired up here, and so we'll save this. Let me refresh my memory with her brutality. I think it was high punch, low punch, block, high punch, low punch, block, high punch, and then after the next low punch, it would fail. Okay, it looked like it was good there. Okay, yeah, that's retracting, it seems. Alright, so let's see, what is the rest of her brutality? Let's see, high punch, low punch, or low kick, block, high punch, low kick, block, high punch, low punch. Block, high kick, low kick. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. Block, high kick, low kick. That was a little slow. Let me try again. Oh, wrong button. I tell you, I've never done, I could not do any brutalities. I didn't play it enough in Trilogy for the series. I think at that point I was kind of dying off for me. Because MK2 was my favorite. So when it came to 3 and Ultimate, I liked them, and then Trilogy seemed like just like a hodgepodge put together. So I didn't really play Trilogy as much, but I always felt like the brutalities were missing from MK3. Alright, so let's try this again. We got high kick, low kick, block. High kick, low kick, block. High punch, low punch, block. Okay, block, then high kick. Okay. Obviously the graphics are going to be messing because I'm on the debug version I'm using for MAME. Alright, so let's take a look here. If I were to try Molino's, because this is a weird setup here. This value for the second hit, it looks really strange. It's a little abnormal. It seemed like a lot of the newer characters that were put in the game had kind of unique, I don't know what I call them, retracts. Let's see, so let's make sure the high punch, low punch works. Looks like the second hit might be a problem. I'm not getting any high. Wow, I got really lucky. I just rambled off the sequence by looking at it. I've got all but the last two. Alright, so I think that's good. I just wasn't. I wasn't sure what to expect from the high punch. And also with this, you can also chain your combos into the after round, I guess, so to speak. Yeah, I'm not that. I don't. I have to memorize them before I can just do them. It's hard looking at the list, but. Oh well, that's what the testers can do. Right, so all these are taken strictly or straight from the source. So you'll see here. Where's it at here? So you'll see here. These are the inputs here. So you just pretty much just match them with the equates, and you're good. But the only exception was doing the unmasked Sub-Zero character, because he was replaced with Johnny Cage in the Nintendo 64 version. So I did replicate his, and I'll show you here in a second. Let me switch screens here. And I found that there was like a ghost hit that he had, and it was evident in the PlayStation version as well as the PC version. Alright, so I'll show you. Let me see. High punch, low punch, high kick. Alright, it's gonna take a few tries here. Okay, so let's do the first 4 hits here. Get acquainted with the first half. High punch. Okay, high punch, high kick. Okay, so that 5th hit was the ghost hit. If you look up his brutality on the PlayStation or PC version, you'll see that the 5th hit does not come from Sub-Zero, but you'll see his opponent reacts to a 5th hit. So I fixed that in this rendition of his brutality. Okay, so we got that. High punch, low punch. 2 high kicks, 2 high punches. Okay. Alright. Low punch, high punch after that. Almost there. Okay. Okay. Oh man, I'm close. There we go. There's so many. I wonder if there's anybody out there that has these memorized. Victor? Yeah, but this Red Dragon keyboard, the macros are real stupid. The setup is real stupid. You know, I know, Drew knows, we all know. We all we all got the same keyboard. Look at that. First try against the computer. All right. Yeah, the macros are a mess. Now I got it down. It's good. It feels complete. It's a nice addition to the game. Um, Michael, have you been able to try it on machines yet? I'd like to see a video of it on machines, Michael, when you get a chance. Oh, nice. Next, we'll have to give the CPU the ability to let's see here. What's up, Mike? Let's see. I'm looking for that video. There we go. Glorious. Okay, so let's see. This is. It looks pretty good. I gotta say, it looks real good on machines. Here, let's run it back. Excellent. Good job, Mike. Alright, so that's good. Alright, so fixes. So we fixed the retraction, the animation retractions. Those seem good. I'm going to say that probably fixed some of the palette problems I've been seeing, because it was probably pulling some incorrect animation for some of the characters. So right now everything seems to be good, with the exception of Kung Lao's got the infamous glitch that I gotta fix, which was also on consoles, but it's a little more extreme here. It seems like we can I'll show you what I mean when we do Kung Lao's. He will go through him. He will clip through the player and be on the other side, and he can't do a brutality. He can't finish it anyways. So aside from that, everything seems to be pretty good. Now this problem with Kung Lao, like I said, was on consoles. When you do it in the corner. Let's see. I notice how, Drew, on a lot of the brutality inputs, there's like a pattern to a lot of them, which makes them a lot easier. Because like the hit style never like fully coincides with the attack button that you hit. And I always thought that was weird. I didn't like it, but then I see the patterns, and it seems like they kind of did make the combos look good, but also be an easy pattern to remember. So let's see. Let me refresh my memory. Kung Lao. Kung Lao, I think, is high punch, low punch, low kick, high kick, block. It's like a circle twice. Like high punch, low kick, high kick, block. Yeah. So I think Kung Lao's so far is the easiest that I know of. I haven't tried Jack, so. Yeah, there you go. See how he clips through. So a lot of that comes from the speed and the automated process of the brutality in the second half. But some also comes from the character position. Um, Aggression. They get pushed forward 4 pixels every hit. So combine that with his with the faster speed and also the distance that that actual punch that he does covers, it's enough to make him clip through the opponent. So we can do it a couple ways. I'd rather not do a broad change because that'll affect everybody's brutalities. I'd rather just maybe just check for that specific move from Kung Lao and maybe adjust the speed or the position increments. Just as where they're nudged here every time you hit them. So basically it takes their current position, it does the animation for the hits, and then it gets the position that they are at after that animation, divides it by 2 and adds it to their current position. Yeah, you definitely can't. You gotta. I think that was the biggest problem I have with brutalities at first, Michael, is thinking you have to press them in a fast manner, which you can't do it. You just got to do it at the pace of the moves. And some moves have faster animations also, so you can speed up in some sections. But other than Kung Lao's glitch there, everything's pretty solid, and brutalities will be in beta 1, which we're trying to get out pretty soon. Trying to get it at the end of this month. Have a nice Independence Day or something. Play you some UMK3 Plus. What's up, Buzz? Alright, so I'll show that glitch again before I start fixing it here. And this is just Kung Lao. Kung Lao is just so fast with that move. He kind of clips straight through the player, and that's it. Alright, so let's see what she's talking about. Let's see, Jax. Oh, Jax. High punch, okay, 3, block. 2, 3, block. Oh, let's save this here first. Three block. Low punch, high punch. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. Oops, I messed up. Let's go high punch, high punch. 2, 3, 4. Michael, what did you ever find out about those buttons? You're talking about you mash some buttons and you're able to do a brutality. Was it just luck that time? I'll try to just mash some buttons to see if. Um, but I mean, I haven't been able to do that. I remember when I first got the brutalities working, it kind of like the first hit did the brutality automatically. I mean, I was like, oh, that was too easy. We gotta fix that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 block. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. That's what I feel like when I was doing brutality. It's like that one right there with Jax. Like I got lucky. Also, you're thinking I can try to do most of it and try to mash it into something else. I can try that. Yeah, the colorful combat on the brutality would be kind of sick. I'll do high kicks. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't able to mash Michael. It didn't work for me on that one. Wrong button. Wrong button. Let's try again. Yeah, I tried low kick that time. It seems to be working fine, Michael. Let's do this. There we go. Hmm. Yeah, I saw the difference there, Buzz. In the trilogy, they had a ton of like heads and stuff. This is just one body one body part set, I guess. This explosion I took from Robo Smoke's bomb explosion, and various other fatalities use it as well. It's just one set of bones. Trying to spam, making sure it's not. Making sure you can't just spam any button to get brutalities working. Okay. Seems to be pretty good. Seems to be really good. Okay. Fantastic. Alright, so I guess we can. Fix Kung Lao's brutality and as of now, everything seems to be running as it should. Ace, it might be that you're pressing them too fast. You gotta press them with the hits because it won't read in advance. It reads after the hit has occurred. No, Michael, I have not addressed any of that yet, so I guess we'll have to do that also. So we'll put that in there as to do. Why is that? Why would that be causing an issue? Subtentry. Victor, I said hello. I was already in Parallax's room a little bit ago, and we greeted each other. I'm sure he'll love the addition that's coming to UMK3+. No problem, Ace. Alright, so let's see here. Is there a particular combat code? It's any combat code, and also 2v2s. Is that 2v2 tag? I'm not. Michael, is it tag or is it any 2v2 that disables brutes as well? I'm gonna say that there's probably something in common between the combat codes and the 2v2 that's causing problems. So tag for sure. So we have just a short list of things to correct, but overall it's pretty solid. Alright, so I guess let's get to work. Let's fix some of this stuff here. Let's fix some of this. Let's see. We gotta figure out where we're going to fix Kung Lao's because okay, so let's do that. Let's focus on Kung Lao's. Let's get his squared away. And we gotta find out the exact hit that's causing us issues. And what we'll do is we'll make an exception on either the speed or the distance addition that it does normally. He doesn't clip. Let's get a different map. I forgot to do, Michael, was cut a new bank structure for machine testing. I forgot about that. Alright, so let's get this brutality. So there's a problem. You can see we have that glitch issue I was telling you about um, with the scores. It's kind of hard to get that to where it's I think we're at a good state here. Let me state save this because I think this is about to go into auto mode. Okay, yeah, perfect. Alright, so that's what we want. I get to right before it clips so we can intercept that and correct that just a little bit so he doesn't clip through our opponent. You know, I don't see anything. I don't see anything in the code that indicates any kind of exception for him. And I've double and triple checked the code to my code, and everything seems to be ported correctly. Alright, so let's go over here. Let's go to our brutality routine here. And let's see where we can make an exception check for that particular move. And you can see the palette thing going on here too. Not sure what's causing that. Yeah, Buzz, the dollar combo complete. Not sure. I think it works with this setup on elbows, maybe. Since it does, I mean, obviously it has to be into the final round, because it checks for a finisher event. So that's why it allows you to go through the combo. But I can probably do something like that, I think. Alright, so the biggest problem I think we're going to have is when we're going back through here with Kung Lao is going to be the speed issue. Because that's the only thing that's different, is just the speed issue. And you can see the speed modifier, if it's in auto mode, is right here. If it's in auto mode, we slide the value right by 9, but if it's normal, we slide it by 8. So basically, when you get a value, you get a value over here of, let's say, 0, 5, 0, 0. That's going to slide it over 8, and it's going to make it 5, and that's going to be the delay between each frame. So if it's 9, it's going to cut it in half again, and that's where it's going way too fast. So if we were to do something with that, At that point, we can probably correct and cure that Kung Lao issue. So we can probably put something in here before, and we can jump to normal speed if it's Kung Lao, but would have, let's see here. Let's see. First I want to identify what frame it is that's causing an issue. So let's do this. Let's go back through this. And if we look at his brutality, we'll break it down here, and we'll look at his moves. That way we can pinpoint which move it is. So the last hit is a roundhouse, so high kick, roundhouse. Let's see, it looks like it's, this is elbow one. I'm sorry, that's elbow one there, that's the second hit. The second hit seems to lunge quite a bit forward, but he's still not clipping. Third hit, he clips. Let's run that back just to, so that's the last hit, and then it darkens, goes into auto mode. We have hit 1, hit 2, and then hit 3 is the clip. So that should be elbow 2, I believe. We should have 2 more punches after this. 1, and then it's not going to hit that second one because it retracts because he didn't hit the last one. So 1, 2. Let's do this. Let's get a breakpoint between these hits here. That breakpoint's going to be right here, right where we want to intercept. All right, so this is the first hit. Second hit. 3270 F4 3270. So that is hit 3. So what we'll do is we'll put a little marker there. Allow exception. And then what we'll do is we'll come up here and we'll say compare allow exception into A11 to see if that's the spot where we're at. If it is, we'll jump to normal speed animation. So let's run this and see what happens. Alright, so let's run this real fast. Let's double check our 470 is still good. Alright, that didn't seem to work for us. Let's try, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Would you just look at it? Ah, okay, so if we run okay. So what we'll do here is, let's see, we'll also do let's see, 32. 203. Okay, that's going to be the speed. So what we can do here, looks like we'll slow that down by, we'll add one extra frame of delay to that, and should fix that. So what we'll do is First, let's clear our breakpoints. And then we'll try this again here with that new. Alright, so that's that. So what we want to do is we want to increase the delay between our speed, and then we'll try. Okay, looks good. Looks good. So with that exception and one increase between that frame of the animation fixes that problem. So I wouldn't be surprised if in some scenarios that still causes an issue, like on the consoles, for example. If you put them in the corner and do it, it'll glitch through. Let's see what that does for us here. I don't know what I did wrong there. I'll try again. Oh yeah, you get in the corner. It seems like his move in general is just too far forward. Yeah, so the corner will kind of produce the same clip problem. I wonder how prevalent that is on the rest of the characters, if they have moves that kind of do the same thing, or just one case problem, so I know how to approach it. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll just change this to in corner, because it's fixed if you're not in the corner, but we have to probably address that. Alright, but moving right along. 2v2 tag brutalities don't work in 2 versus 2 tag. Let's check that out. That's interesting. Wait, let's do combat codes. That seems to be a little more. So I'm trying to figure why, what could be the relation here between having a combat code and having a brutality not work, because there's not really much going on here. What I can do is, let's disable the debug one. The debugs work fine if you were to put a debug code on, but if you try to use a normal code, I guess we have a problem. Does anybody know? Someone throw me a code for Sans, like Sans Power or something. check that out, or the easiest code. It don't really matter, I guess. Whatever is the easiest code. 044. Okay, so now let me get these buttons. Let me get acquainted with these buttons. Let's see. Okay, so 4. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so let's find out. Yeah, indeed. Oops, wrong button. Alright, so let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. Alright, so I am joystick. If it's not a joystick, round result 3. It is a round result 3. Okay, everything looks good so far. Let's see, so we're here. AO and A11, that's our input sequence for our brutality. Clear 0, we're going to clear the auto flag. It's going to move 6. Clear the combos. We'll update our move index, our frame count for our input. Move our input frame count. Track 3. So I'm guessing it's going to fail right in here, which is going to be our brutal scan routine. Put a breakpoint there. So 0970. So I'm going to say we don't hit that at all. Let's find out. Yeah, we don't hit that at all. Okay. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Brutal flag. 0. This is going to get our, let's see. Getting our first hit. Let's see, 101. That's our speed and our speed and our button input. So there's our speed. We move the speed into 14. I get the location for that. Get our value, it's 0. So we're gonna clear C. Seems to be okay, but we're failing. Let's take a look at our routine here. Oh, that's good to know, Michael. So it's nothing related to the code-wise. Let me check RAM here for that. let's see, combat code stuff. Alright, so we got 14 stored here. That's our combat code. So if we were to wipe that, I wonder what happens. Still have the problem, so it's nothing directly related to the combat code stored. Okay. So this current routine that to run time. Alright, so this brutal scan routine that we run, it checks pretty much to make sure that you only hit the buttons that you're supposed to hit. Oh, you know what? Are those for... no, that wouldn't be right. I'm gonna clear these because these should be 0 actually. I don't think that's gonna cause an issue, but there we go. Those, wow, it uses the same location as the combat codes do. So what we have to do is we'll have to clear the, which you would think this code here, this routine clear combo button, I thought that cleared those, but let's find out. That's the problem. So that problem's fixed. What's solved anyways. 2590. We might have a mismatch here in. Alright, so 2590. That's good. We're at clear A2. And it is clearing. Oh, you know what? It jumped over the value at 25 AO. What's up with that? Let's run that back. Let's see what's going on there. Oops, I kind of missed a little spot there. Let me try that again. Okay, so we're moving 10 to A3. That's... So skipping, it looks like every other 10 it's skipping. Don't know why. Let's run a normal one with no codes and see what's going on there with that address. Alright, so there's our address there. I should have took a screenshot of that last section of RAM just to compare it. Let's do this one. So that's what we look like originally, and this is with no combat codes. So I'm thinking that it looks like every other. There's about 2 bytes padded in between each of them. ADDI 3 and A10. And we're getting data from the combat codes that are falling in between that, and I think that's what's causing our issues. So we have a couple options. We can clear that, which is probably the easiest upon entering a brutality, or we can look at the scan routine and modify the scan routine, which I'd rather not. Alright, so that should be the fix for that one. That's going to be the easiest. I don't think we should mess with the brutality scan routine. No sense in modifying it. It works good. And that scan routine pulls locations from the ROM that specify where to look. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. So what we're going to do is first, let's run this back. Let's see exactly what data is not cleared so we know what data to clear. Okay, so there we go. There's our data. All the zeros are the ones that we want to. We're going to do the first, we'll do all those with 64, 96 bytes or bits. 32, oh no, not 96, 96 times 2, whatever that is. Alright, so we'll do that at the beginning up here. Do brutality, we'll do combo clear. Okay, so that's clear button. What we have to do also is we have to take into account player 2 as well. So let's do. Alright, so I'm guessing it's going to be the next 6 lines there, so we'll do that. Oh no, it's actually, it falls in between, so I'm guessing the problem only happens to one side and not the other. So we'll do all the way from 106, 2580. All the way to 106, 26, 50. And just to double check that, we're gonna run that back here just to make sure. All like 2650. Okay. I don't see any reason why we want to keep the old combat code symbols in RAM at this point, so I don't see a problem doing this. That's 10625. Alright, so that should move that. Let's double check, make sure we're good. Alright, so we'll do that, and then we'll compare 106, 2650 in A1, the run time, if less than, and we'll go clear combat code RAM. Okay, so that should clear all the RAM from 2580 to 2650. Alright, so we'll run that and we'll check that. Alright, so that should cure that problem. Yeah, I can. Is that the way it normally is, Michael? Or I can probably tighten that up if it needs. I don't have a lot of experience with Trilogy as far as Brutalities go, so I can't recall how they normally. The constraints or whatever. Alright, so that's that. Let's go in here, and 470 is still good. Alright, so you can see that little problem is fixed. Still have, like, there's that, look at that, the font up there, that the palette is just glitching out. Let's it's when it dims, so let's do that. So let's combat codes, disable brutes, that is fixed. What's up there, Mariano? Thanks, buddy. Glad you like it. It's coming along. Well, hang in there, man. We're trying to get this out ASAP here. The ball's kind of in my court. I was trying to sew up this last minute edition, which is definitely well worth it, I think. And some 2v2 bugs. And it should be close to being able to be downloaded. Alright, let me try this ultra slow combo, says Michael. Alright, so let me see about this slow-mo combo. Let's see how slow it can be. Can I go slower than that? Let's find out. Yeah, I think we should probably tighten it up a little bit. What do you think? Ultra combo. Alright, so let's see. We can probably tighten that up just by changing the amount of frames that we can look for here. So we can do 9. Alright, so let's tighten that up a little bit, because I think that's a little too much, I think. You guys think too slow? I think that's way too slow. That window is way too big to do brutality. That seems a little better. I don't know how tight we're gonna make that, but it seems. I'm trying to go as slow as I can here. It's about as slow as you're gonna get. Yeah, we'll stay with that value. Let's see. So we've got. All right, so we got the combat code thing fixed. Let's look at 2v2 here and see if we can figure out why that's causing issues here. Oh crap, I forgot what buttons are which. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That was odd. That wasn't the right sans code, but it still works. Alright, so let's see, we'll do that. And that was the first character or the second character, Michael? I can't remember. It works on the second character, it seems. Yeah, so that seemed to work there. Okay. Try my second character. Seems to work with my second character as well. Okay, so it seems like that's fixed as well. Yay, nay. Oh, with one of my characters dead. Okay. I gotcha, so. Alright, so. I don't know, seem to be working now. Maybe. Looks like it scooted us out of our darkening zone. Okay, so that seems to be fixed. Can move outside. Darken range. We can. It's kind of minor now, but we'll definitely get back to that. Alright, so that's good as well. Alright, what I'll do is let me get you the latest build here, Michael, if you wanna test this out. Make sure I got it over here. Alright, Michael and Drew, if you guys want the latest, it's up there. It's up there, Valentino. Alright, so, I'm surprised I remembered that off the top of my head, but yep, there we go. Alright. Yeah, I do, Valentino. Yeah, you just search my name, you'll find me. Alright, so that's good. Alright, let's see. What's up there, Martine? Alright, so let's see. Got almost everything fixed on that, so it's looking pretty good. Is that, the video you sent, Michael, is that just a slow-mo? I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at there. Just how slow you're able to go. Oh, I see. No, I see what you're talking about. It's that palette glitch. Yeah, I experienced that as well on, yeah, that's what we gotta look into. That's a good one. That's a pretty major one, so, it seemed to do it on Dark End. Let's see if we can figure that out. Yeah. Why is... Hold on a minute. What save state do I have here? Okay, I do have Sans Power on. Okay. Just want to make sure. But I was getting combat codes that I wasn't, that I didn't have turned on. I would have never thought you'd be playing with Sindel, Michael. Remind me, I gotta nerf Sindel. She's too strong. So that may be a stage issue with the palettes. how many pallets are loaded. Gonna run through some stages here and see which ones do it. I know Subway does it. Looks like Balcony does it as well. So this should do it when it darkens. Yeah, right there. Oh, that was too slow. Okay, so let's go to the source here. Let's do the let's see where our darkening comes in. Oh, you know what? I think it's get out the old Nerf gun. We'll nerf everybody. Alright, so, oh yeah, this is where it resides, I think. Let's see, 34. Brutality announcements. Okay, so I think this is, I think that's where our read's going to come through, and it's going to pull our process to do our darkening and stuff. Nope, I was wrong. Let's see. Ah, here it is. The old initiate death load. Alright, so that should be it right there. Alright, so alright, that's just the audio sound. Alright, so we're moving instance 12 right out the rip when we darken our background. Let's see what that is. Just learn a little bit here. If we have 12, we don't have 12, so it looks like we're gonna learn what 12 is. Okay, good. It's good. The timing does feel a little better on that, doesn't it? So our brutality combos are tightened up, so no longer can you do a slow motion brutality. So that's good. Right now we're looking into the palette issue. If you watch here, you can see the life bars. They kind of freak out here. Their palettes have been changed. I think it's due to something in the darkening routine. So that's what we are looking into now. Other than that, the amount of bugs to fix are it's minuscule. There's only a couple. And they're minor. So if you're wondering where the brutality graphics are, it's because I'm running a special version of MAME for debugging. And the other version that I use is also a custom build for custom graphics from a different bank that aren't originally read and recognized for the commercial builds of MAME. So the brutality graphics are there, trust me. You just don't see them in this debug version of MAME I use. So this is our darkened background. This is what's causing what I believe are some of our palettes to kind of go wonky. I don't think it's anything per se with the routine, but it's a kind of a side effect to it. There's probably something else that's causing it, but we'll run through this and maybe learn a little bit more about this routine. I know there's an array of palettes that are omitted from darkening as well, like all the character palettes. And I think on this game, am I right by saying that the scores and the life bars don't darken? What's weird is it doesn't do it on all stages. It's just some stages. All right, so let's try to step through this here. So it's going to move instance processes with the instance of 12. It's going to remove that. I'm not sure exactly what that is yet. But what we can do is we can comb through here and we can find our instance of 12, and then we can play with that routine, the process structure, and kind of get an idea. So this process is coming through all the structures to find any with the instances of 12 so it can destroy them. And we don't have any yet. We've got 201s, there's 6, there's 9, that's stage stuff, there's 7, there's 8, there's A, 13, and there are no 12s. I'm guessing 12 is probably one with some kind of stage stage effect in the background. So we have a process within this process. It's going to take that palette color and darken it, dim it down. That's what gives it the effect of the lights being turned down. Alright, so that's good. Let's see what we've got here. So I know from experience, 105 BB30 is going to be the index of our palettes where they start. And typically this first one, FFDD 6A90, is typically the palette for the life bars and stuff, or the Boon palette, as I see it referenced. So let's see what we got here. Let's go over. These are palette exclusions, by the way, when they run the darken routines. If it's that palette, it doesn't darken it. 6A90, generic, question mark, and this is our health bar and bezel name of wins, so that's good. And that's 6F30 on that one. So you see that is actually the second one in line, so that's index 1. What's up there, Axel? How you doing? Alright, so this routine I know quite well. This is going to be the darkening steps in A11. 5BAFO. That's going to be the start of where our palette index is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into a register point here. Alright, so there's our palette going into A1 for our life bars, which is going to be corrupt here pretty shortly. This is going to darken it. Move A14 into AO. No, 8, 6500. Let's see, 10. 6500. 1F, 60B8. That looks a little off as far as the address. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not where the pallet's stored. My mistake. Let's keep moving. It's gonna be the 190s, I believe, for the pallet stuff. But oh, you know what? I think I just remembered where these are stored. I think they're stored within a process, within the actual process instead of the RAM for pallet. Which you can see, I think right here, it's going to move our process into AO. It's going to add 100, and then it's going to start writing the actual values to that. So 108, 6500. You can see down here, A13 is 108, 6400. So we've got some probably leftover data in there that's probably corrupting it, if I were to guess. What's up, Gonzalo? I'm curious if we format this data here, what's going to happen here? Is it going to look good? Is it not? So you can see there's our new color value right here. Our palette stored within the structure of the process. Thanks, Mariano. Happy Father's Day to you too, man. Alright, so let's run this and see. Okay, so it's still corrupted. I'm curious if we are on the same, if we're on the right palette hunt here. We might be looking at the wrong palette. So let me first verify. So what we're going to do is we're going to look into the palette area. Somehow this palette location is a lot further down than what I anticipated. I thought it was in the 180s, but remember the input stuff is at the 180s. Let's see. I'm going to consult the user manual here. The thought crossed my mind. Cool, remake, but that's a lot of work, man. There's more games I'd probably like to do before I did a trilogy. I think it's possible. Um, Depends on how much data we need for the extra sprites, um, because there's a few banks left over on the Wolf unit, but they're all 4 megabit style chips. So there may be a way to change that, maybe not, but it all depends on. That'd be the first step, anyways. If you're thinking about doing a trilogy on the Wolf unit, is to calculate how much extra data you need, and see if you got the space to use for it. If not, you're gonna have to make some cuts. Um, so now I'm just combing through the source code for uh, when the death blows are initiated. I want to see if there's something special that they do with the palette concerning brutalities. Um, and if so, we need to implement it to kind of fix some of our palette problems. But we'll see. This right here, this is when any kind of finisher is done. It's pretty much telling us it's going to darken the screen unless it's a pit fatality. So if it's a pit fatality and it's not a brutality, or if it's not a pit fatality and it's not a brutality, then fade. As you can see here on 64, Nintendo 64, it looks like that they didn't dim the background for brutalities. I don't know why not. Maybe they had a similar issue and they figured they would do this to rectify it. I'm not sure. So I guess that kind of answers that question as far as any kind of special exceptions done when a brutality is executed with a dimming background, which they don't dim the background on Nintendo 64 when a brutality is done. So. What's up there, Ancient One? Alright, so let's see. Alright, so that pretty much proves it's something with the darkening, because we omitted the darkening sequence, and our problem no longer exists. What's up, Gustavo? How you doing? Yeah, the second beta is a little tougher, Mariana. It's, I definitely ramped it up a little bit, but it's not too bad. I don't think. Oh, look at that! Didn't even. And maybe the amount of effects going on, all the blood and stuff. Let's remove player one. Yeah, player one is removed. Alright, so I'm willing to bet that this use of, what is it, 17 in hex, this 23 FFDB 4240, I'm gonna bet that that is, I'm guessing blood, maybe? Let's look that palette up here and let's see what it goes to. Because we have quite a bit, we have a lot of instances of that. Let's see, there's no definition of it. Blood, question mark? So if we go to RAM over here and we turn off the blood, let's check out how many of those instances actually happen. Yeah, so that's what it is. We have so many instances of that palette for the blood that that's what's causing our palette. So there's nothing per se that's wrong. It's just we have to tone down um, the amount of blood because that FFDB 4240 palette reaches as high. I think I saw as 25 instances. So um, okay, so what can we do about that? That's the question. What can we do about that? Alright, so we're gonna, yeah, doesn't make a difference. I wanted to save it a little closer to the left side so I can see more of the blood, but I feel like there's a lot of these drops that are hitting the ground and they're staying on the ground. So if we limit those types of blood effects or we make them speed up as far as their process goes so they're destroyed faster, maybe that would free up resources enough to keep the pallets from glitching out. Or this could go back to the old had a problem I remember on MK2 when for some reason when blood was being destroyed, the object, it was causing crashes when there's a bunch of other effects being created. Um, I think it was dealing with, if I remember correctly, it was explosive combat cheat. Um, if you had blood that was dissolving on the ground and it was being destroyed at the same time, a bunch of bones are being uh, created, it would cause issues. And that was due to the fact that the way the game works is there are static locations set up in RAM that are allocated for object structures, and when an object is destroyed, its location gets put to the top of the stack to be used for the next object that is to be created. So what it's doing is destroying a table, putting it at the top, and at the same time it's creating a massive amount of new objects when you have stuff like an explosion or all these blood effects, which you see all at once, and that's where it's going south. And I wrote something for MK2 to kind of rectify that. Maybe I'll bring it over here, but pretty much it goes through the tables, and it puts the last destroyed object, its old structure location at the bottom of the stack, and it keeps feeding from the top. That way it doesn't headbutt. But yeah, that's what's going on there. So we identified that. That's a good thing. Now we have to fix it. Um, and I can say it's not stage related, Michael. It's going to be more of the brutality type. If it involves a lot more blood, it's going to be more prone to happening. Um, less blood, less happening. So um, we'll have to rectify that. And unfortunately, any of the brutality reaction, uh, all the reactions, they have blood. So it's like we can kind of modify a few hits just to kind of give it time to um, clear up some of the palette usage. They all have blood. Basically, you only use these two anyways, because these two are kind of more like, or these four are like finishers, which you don't use. And brutalities was more or less for combos, style combos. Did everybody catch that finisher? Where's that at? Uh, I saw in here the bonus. Was that where it was? Yeah, right here. Hyper fatality. What do you think that is? You think that's the brutality? It's a string. I don't know. Is that used in Nintendo 64's MK trilogy? Does anybody know? Yeah, it definitely spilled a lot of blood. Boone wins. These are probably those nonsense strings that are never used. Alright, so we've identified that. I'll get a solution for that probably tomorrow. Try a few more brutalities. Try out some new ones I haven't tried yet. Alright, let's do Shang Tsung. Let's see. Block, block, block. Low kick. Punch, low punch. Low punch. Oh, okay. This is an easy one. I don't know why I'm messing it up here. There we go. See, all the blood did the same thing on this one, but we know what's causing it. You know what? Why are we doing... Let's do this. Why are we playing in that one? Let's play in this one. That way we have our graphics. And we can... Alright, let's see. High punch, high punch. High kick, low kick, low kick. Block, block. Low punch, low punch, high punch. High kick. Oh, it's gonna be a... Let's take a couple of tries for this one. For some reason, I don't want to press the high kick button for some reason. Oh, sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. Well, in that case, let me run it back then. That looks pretty good. Let's go. I'm just gonna try some random brutalities here. Make sure everything's good. Let's see, high punch, low kick, high punch, low punch, high kick, low kick. Not bad, first try. Let's see, high punch, low kick, block, high punch, low kick, block, high punch, low punch, block. All 3 times, and then high kick, low kick. High kick, low kick, that's what it is. Ah, what am I doing wrong here? Let's see. Almost. Let's see. Low kick, block, high punch, low kick, block, high punch, low punch, block. High punch, low. Oh, high punch, low punch. Okay, so the 3rd time is low punch. High punch, low punch, block. High kick, low kick. Okay. Dang it, I keep pushing high punch one too many times. High punch, low punch. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. This is a tough one. There we go. Just high punch, low kick, block, high punch, low kick, block, high punch, low punch, block, high kick, low kick. Alright. I think I know this one. I don't even have to look this one up. I'm gonna find out. Interesting bug with MAME, this new version of MAME.
Brutality. Sub-Zero wins. Brutality. Scorpion. Round one. Fight. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. It's finish him. Finish him. It's finish him. It's official. Use brutality. Scorpion. Round one. Fight.
Possibly Wicked Arcade. Possibly. We have to look into the audio side of things. Let's see how Rain reacts. I don't think I've tried Rain.
Finish him. Brutality.
Sounds. I can't say I've added any sounds. I've modified some sounds. Um, but you know, if there's room in the ROMs, I'm sure you know it's. After you learn the structures of it and come up with the right sample of it, and I'm sure it's possible. I'll be digging into that in MK1 pretty soon because there's some sound information I was given about that sound processor and the chip and everything. So we'll do that in MK1, and what I learned from there, I'll probably carry over to the other games. But I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight, um, and continue tomorrow. Um, so yeah, we'll pick it up tomorrow, and we got a lot to accomplish here. A lot of bugs fixed. We got to fix the biggest one was the pallet glitching with all the blood. I'm not sure, Axel, if that's just not something you're losing through the stream, but I don't think I've noticed it on my end. I'll have to rewatch it, or maybe pay better attention, I guess, on my end for the brutality explosions. So, uh, so that's it for the night. We've got a few more bugs to fix for the brutalities, but they are looking pretty good. Pretty excited about it, especially them working on machines properly. So that's a good plus. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.